Good evening and welcome to the January 2026 school board meeting for Joint School District 171. Carmen?
Trustee St. Germain.
Here.
Trustee Craig.
Here.
Trustee Kepke.
Here.
And Trustee McIntosh.
Here.
And I would say we have incoming trustee Jim Dorcas.
Doremus.
Doremus.
Here.
I kept saying Dora earlier.
I know.
Sorry.
Okay, please join me in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks to all that served. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I will make a motion that we accept the agenda, approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of December 15th, the regular board minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the December 15th, 2025 regular meeting minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Awesome. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Now we get the annual opportunity of reorganizing the board. In accordance with our policy 1200, we're going to start with an introduction of Jim Doremus, our new board member. Thank you so much for being willing to step into this position, Jim.
Well, thank you for allowing me to be part of this group, and I'm looking forward to it.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome very much. Okay, now, Carmen, would you help us in swearing in the newly elected board member, Jim Doremus?
And also Mr. Craig.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Brian, that's right, you were elected.
Okay, could you
Was.
two please stand?
Ah.
Okay, repeat after me, please. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and I will fully or faithfully discharge the duties of trustee of the Joint School District 171
I will fully and
and faithfully
faithfully
discharge the
discharge
duties
the duties of a trustee for Joint School District 171
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Carmen. The next item for action is a call for nomination of chair to serve during the 26th calendar year.
I'll make a motion to nominate Chris St. Germain as board chair for the 2026 calendar year.
I'll second.
Any discussion? I'll say that I appreciate your confidence. Thank you very much.
Good job.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay, assumption of office by the newly elected chair. I do that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do it. It's been a pleasure to work with all of you. Okay, call for nominations for vice chair to serve during the 2026 calendar year.
I'd like to nominate Taylor McIntosh as the vice chair.
I'll second.
Excellent. Any discussion? Taylor, you're willing?
Yes.
Awesome. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're done there. Appointment of the clerk. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion that we appoint Carmen Griffith as the clerk in continued service to Joint School District 171.
I'll second.
Any discussion? We appreciate Carmen.
Yes,
Very much
thank
so.
you.
All those in
Thank you.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay. Election and appointment of treasurer.
Is that usually
Brittany?
Brittany? Okay.
Mhm.
I'll make a motion to appoint Brittany Getz as treasurer for the 2026 calendar year.
I'll second.
Any discussion? I did not get notice from Brittany that she was not willing. So all those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you and welcome back, Brittany. Okay, we have a requirement in accordance with the law in our policy 1600 to review and sign the code of ethics. You should all have that in front of you, and I've already given mine to Carmen, so I can't summarize it. Any
I have
questions?
also turned mine in.
Okay, yep. I'm good. I saw you do yours. Jim, are we good there? We got it. Oh, awesome. Okay, thank you very much. What a compliant little group we are. Signatories. So we'll have to add Taylor, right?
Nope.
Nope, just me?
Yeah, just as the chairs, no changes.
Okay, so we're done there. Establish agenda and notice posting locations. We did that last time
We-
in December.
Yeah, we
right?
do it annually. I wanted to talk about our current practice and suggest a revision.
Could I ask one thing before you move on?
Yeah.
Do we need to get a motion here about continuing the signatories?
It's a
for
good
this
call. I
next-
think we do.
Next,
It is an action item.
Mhm.
yes.
So I'll make a motion that we keep the signatory list to continue into the 2026, 27
As presented.
as presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Carmen. Motion carries. Okay,
The requirement for board meeting notices is the location of the meeting and the district office, as well as online presence. Right now, we have those things we've been posting in the post offices. We put it on the online calendar, the district calendar. It goes to the newspaper. It goes to Facebook. It goes to Skyward, to all staff. So there's about, a long list. My wonder is if we can eliminate the post offices, because those locations are the hardest to make sure that we're consistently compliant with. It's our own rule, or it's our own practice, I should say. Anyway, just because we have it in so many, we share it frequently, but it's pretty hard to get the remote post offices in addition to all those locations.
as someone who has realized what time it is and what date it is, I have rushed to the Weird Post Office, so I
As have I,
understand.
and
I'm sure
peers.
you have, yeah. No, I'm sure you have. I know this is a meeting of the board and it's not about a public meeting, but did anybody here only see the notice at the post office? Is anyone on,
at the post office.
is anyone online that only saw the meeting notice at the post office? Thank you for your input. Thoughts? Emotions?
And if the board is passionate about it, we can keep doing it, but it's one that's the hardest for us to really make sure that it gets done in time, especially with the short notice meetings, if we have a special meeting, just because of the location of all of them.
In my past job as a superintendent, I definitely understand that frustration because we had 2 rural post offices that we had to, and there were days where I literally had to drive 45 minutes one way just to get to the post office. So if there's other options, which it seems to be, I would agree with eliminating the post office.
Before we get into any further discussion, can we have a motion?
Just to eliminate the post offices. Is that the motion, or do you want it to
so,
be,
Around the notice of posting locations?
to be the board
Yes.
office?
So we would continue to do all of our online and electronic means. And in addition, as well as the newspaper,
And
the
location.
district
of-
office,
And location of the meeting. Okay.
Yeah.
I will try to make a motion here. So I make a motion that we post agendas and notices online and electronically, as has been taking place at the board office, in the Clearwater Tribune, and at the location of the meeting. And forego the posting at post offices. Do you want that in the agenda or motion, or
no, I
no?
would leave that
Okay.
out because
Okay.
there are times where for a special meeting, we will have to continue to do that.
Okay, so.
Okay, can we get a second?
Could you read that back,
Yep.
Carmen?
You want me to try to
Try it
say it
again.
again?
You
Okay,
guys
so
know.
I make a motion to post notices and agendas online and electronically as what's being done at the board office in the Clearwater Tribune and at the location of the meeting.
Or can we call it the district
District
office?
office.
Okay,
versus the-
district, oh, board
Mhm.
office, yeah,
Yeah,
district
district.
office, sorry. So do you need me
This is
to
our
amend it or
office.
can you do that?
Nope,
Yes,
I think you can.
district office,
You get it,
yes.
Carmen?
Okay, I'm gonna listen to the recording.
Okay, all right. Can we get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, now we can have a discussion. So it makes sense that we move forward with, we're in compliance with the law and our policy,
Mhm.
and we eliminate a burden.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. Need a
Aye.
Motion,
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
any questions?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Reports and recognitions. I'll kick this off. I really want to thank our bus drivers and the bus barn. We know the demands are high and the numbers of you are limited, and we really appreciate all of your time, effort, and energy and willingness to be with us. I also want to highlight the great article and the resulting success of the wrestling cooperative. The young man is doing very well. I'm sorry, his name has slipped my mind, but it's working, and it was a very emotional challenge. We overcame it, and so congratulations, Ms. Kaczynski, and to the young man who's doing so well.
There's actually two that are in the co-op.
Oh,
So
thank you.
yes,
I know
so and
there's one
they're
that's
both
highlighted.
doing, yeah, they're both doing well,
Is it
but yeah,
Garrett?
Hunter
Hun-
Gamble.
Hunter
Gamble,
Gamble and
Gamble.
Devin Welch are both
Awesome. Thank you for
Devin.
adding to that.
Yeah,
Cool.
both
Yes.
doing it. Yeah.
I think it's awesome. And then I love the collaboration between technology and nutrition to go after the technology innovation grant. So I just wanted to express my appreciation out loud. Anybody else want to share something that struck to
Awesome.
their heart?
Good.
Okay. Moving on to committee reports. Any questions? Program reports. Any questions? Jason, would you please summarize your superintendent report for us? Any highlights or?
We have child nutrition. I can do it
Oh, I'm
any
sorry.
order you want, but they're going to actually do a in-person presentation for us, Carmen and Tama.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Food bank in the
So
district.
let's do that. Yep. Here I am celebrating you and not giving you a chance.
You're being efficient though.
Stand up there.
I'll just raise my hand when I want you to pause when we get to the slide presentation, Russell.
Okay. So while he's getting that ready, we put together a slideshow presentation and presented it for Rotary Group, last month?
Yes, last month, right before Christmas, it was a wonderful opportunity to meet people in the community and, of course, thank them again for coming and helping bag up the holiday meal that we distributed out right before winter break. So it was great.
And this is Tama, my co-coordinator. We co-coordinate this together because one person can't do it all.
That's
So,
right.
anyway.
It's nice to have your best asset standing right next door.
Okay, so we did the presentation. Jason was able to attend too. I think it was received very well. They had questions even about the school district, so it opened up a little bit of communication with them. I think it's done well because after that, I've had other people in the community from other organizations contact me wanting to know how we could help support that program. So it's worked out. Tam and I is also have an opportunity to go to Boise in February when they have Day on the Hill. And we will be presenting in the Capitol in the Rotunda to promote the food insecurity and the issues and how our districts addressing those through the Idaho Food Bank. So we will be there, so the legislators can come around and talk to us as well. So we're getting that put together. We have a rough draft that has taken multiple of us to put together a brochure that we're going to try to have ready for Boise. Jason's helped us with this. Tama is the one that had the idea and got it going. We've had technology helping some with the editing of it. So this is still a rough draft, but it'll give you an idea of some of the little stuff we're going to try to present. Jason's going to make us up some, what I call flag and shine stickers or something promoting our school district and the food pantry and that type of stuff as well. So anyway, and this
Quick,
is
real quick catch for you. First sentence, the school food pantry.
see, this is why it's a rough draft. We got
Teresa should be this word proofer.
okay. She's like,
And we want to also invite you all to come to the warehouse. It would just be a pleasure to share how the community has just really supported the food pantry. It's such a privilege to represent our district and have community members come in because they see just the immense care and the participation from community members. We have senior citizens coming in. We have people from all walks of life. We're really working hand in hand with the other food bank in town, the Lifeline Food Bank. But remember, they're only available twice a week and patrons can only access twice a month. So we really are the 24-hour crisis food pantry because I know I've had calls, I know Carmen has had calls, and it's really made all the difference. So to have that kind of facility available, the kind of resources that we have, and just being able to connect people in the community has just been a real pleasure.
and I'd let you know, the food pantry started originally in a church in town. And then they couldn't continue it in the church, had to come back into the school. And Tammy Waite back here is the one who was the first one to organize it in our school in this building out of a closet. It was literally a little closet. So our pantry wouldn't be where it is today without the expansion of our child nutrition warehouse. That's made it possible. Okay, Russell, we'll just we have to pause because sometimes we talk longer than this long. Let's see.
This is really wonderful.
Gotta get the volume. And kudos to Alicia Hernandez for putting together the slideshow. Tam and I told her what we wanted, we gave her information.
And it's been really interesting for me to realize that Clearwater County has the fourth highest need as far as child food insecurity, that we rank the fourth highest in the state. And so when we are interacting with our legislators, we'll really be helping them to see the specific needs that our county has and how we're approaching those needs with a very innovative, I would say, approach. Because when you look at other areas such as the Lewiston area, they have a hub. They've taken over the old high school there, and they have availability for clothing and furniture and food and those kinds of resources. We are really following the needs of our community because we feel very comfortable in really the food distribution process. It's handled very well. We get referrals from teachers and other staff that know the students, and then we can earn their trust and really see what kinds of needs are out there.
So,
food not only addresses immediate hunger but also fosters lifelong health, cognitive development, and social well-being. Proper nutrition during formative years significantly impacts physical growth.
Has, was it 35% free and reduced? Our school district's like 49% free and reduced, with Timberline School sitting between 60 and 70% of their whole student body being free and reduced. So when you look at that and how our county is so much different from just right down the road a little ways, and that is what we deal with and what you guys deal with as a district. So,
Can I make one small constructive criticism? Legislators have very short attention spans because
Yeah.
they're busy. So one main sentence and then bullets of the impact or need instead of one paragraph for them to read.
We won't be able to show this. At the legislature. I don't really think we'll be able to set up for us to do that. And I know they're going to be visiting tables, so they're not going to be stopping very long.
Okay, so we'll have a booth.
Yes.
Ah, thank you.
So that
So this is
brochure
our-
will
wonderful.
be our main way of communicating our message.
Yep,
We,
right
we're
on.
also going to have some things on the table. We have some pictures and
I'll take my Instant Pot or air fryer and tell them about that portion.
So what is, the funds come for those, the Instant Pot and air fryers?
Donations, community
Wow,
donations.
yeah.
It's funded all of it.
Yeah, the Northwest Area Foundation, Rotary.
Rotary is one of our big
Yeah.
supporters, faith-based organizations in town. There's one that gives us a monthly donation every month. To keep up on that.
And of course, Idaho Food Bank, they are just phenomenal. We'll be continuing to pass out recipes and cookbooks. We have a cookbook, Cooking on a Budget. And we have a food educator that's been working with us when it comes to community events here at the school and also at the warehouse. Keisha Barnes is just phenomenal in being able to really reach out to our community members and educate them and meet their needs. We had one student's family was able to win an electric skillet. You may have seen it in the paper. And boy, I heard about it all week about how excited that family was. Really special.
Not to steal the thunder from this at all, but Cody, does this program help in our monitoring of the homeless grant?
It coordinates in some ways. Could be linked, but you guys are aware of that.
In the past, years past, they have donated money as well from the homeless funds to help support those families. Because a lot of the families we had were some of them that we have been homeless.
So the pantry is located in Orofino.
At our
Right.
school district
Yeah,
warehouse.
I've been over to it. Carmen showed me some stuff. It's very impressive. Yeah. So how do you reach the outlying schools like Timberline?
We put it on my food truck every week and
Okay.
check it out.
White School
Okay.
District 170. 1. Child Nutrition Department.
Is it loud enough?
Preparing the next generation to thrive, one stomach at a time.
Oh, good. Here's the-
Nutrition is crucial for the success of future generations. Providing young people with nutritious food not only addresses immediate hunger but also fosters lifelong health, cognitive development, and social well-being. Proper nutrition during formative years significantly impacts physical growth, brain development, and academic performance. By prioritizing healthy eating and ensuring access to nutritious food, we empower children to excel in school, embrace healthy lifestyles, and contribute positively to society. Investing in their nutrition is an investment in our community's future prosperity.
And we'll start out with how the district approaches. those
Joint School
students.
District 171
Yeah, no, go ahead.
serves an average of 611 breakfast meals each day. These meals are provided free of charge to all students, with the cost covered by the district. This initiative ensures that our students begin their day with a healthy, well-balanced meal.
So we'll go through the process of how the district approaches versus breakfast. We still do breakfast in the classroom at most schools. And they go to the classroom, the kids are participating, bringing them back. These are some of the new things and how we're promoting it with the kids to get them to eat and make healthy choices. This was in Tama's classroom, shows the kids sitting down in the morning as they get their attendance and everything done, and they get to eat their breakfast while the classroom is going. And then they get to bring it back to the kitchen when they are done. This is breakfast on a stick. It's a sausage covered with a pancake, and that's the number one favorite.
So the grade of the young person that read that paragraph? What a tribute to literacy in our school system.
School lunch.
Big words and nice sentences. That's awesome.
It's a
Look how red Russell is.
We're taking it.
It's hot in here.
okay.
Joint School District 171 participates in the USDA Food Service Program, adhering to strict federally regulated nutrition guidelines to ensure that healthy, well-balanced meals are available for students. While the district cannot provide lunch meals to our students at no cost like we do for breakfast, participating in the USDA program allows us to offer meals based on income eligibility, with free, reduced, and paid categories. Fun fact, JSD 171 nutrition staff served 6,900 lunch meals in the month of October alone.
It's kind of hard to hear, but, and this is some of the pictures we've collected over the years of kids eating lunch. And it's kind of fun to look back because some of them are now in junior high or high school. We've implemented salad bars at all locations. And so the students can pick their own fresh or fruit, vegetables that way. And they seem to eat it better and like it better. And then we do have options for staff as well, where they can get out of the salad bar and build their own salads and things. These were some special things we did at Halloween and different things to spruce up their meals.
It's really fun to see how the program has really developed over the years because
Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program. The Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program is grant-funded and benefits our Orofino and Timberline elementary buildings. Students in grades K through 6 receive a fresh fruit or vegetable every afternoon. Through this program, we are able to introduce students to new fruits and veggies that some students wouldn't have had an opportunity to try otherwise.
And that is true because I've had parents tell me going to the grocery store, they pick up things like they want a prickly pear because they ate it at school. And so that is neat. So it is a healthy snack. The teachers don't have to buy out of their pocket in the afternoon. It gets them through to the end of the day. And this is a grant program.
Head Start. Through our partnership with the Lewis Clark Early Childhood Program, Joint School District 171's Nutrition Department proudly supplies meals to our Orofino Head Start program. Each day, our team at the Orofino Elementary Kitchen prepares these meals, ensuring that Head Start students can enjoy a healthy and nutritious meal during class time. Meals are served family-style right in the classroom.
This was amazing to go watch these little kids eat at Head Start. This is how we box it up. They come get it, they take it out there, they serve it up themselves. We document their numbers and stuff, and then I bill them on a monthly basis, and they reimburse the district and pay for the contract that way. And this is a contract the district has with Head Start. And we don't have one, not in India, just here in Orofino. And so Head Start's very, if you have ever been out there, they get to serve themselves. So one child liked broccoli, and everybody's broccoli. One just liked rice, and some don't eat anything. This one was having fun with his spoon. It was quite funny to watch them, but they just really get into it. And the staff sits down and eats with them to encourage a family style experience. She's giving me the heart.
Partnering with our schools, community, and the local North Idaho Food Bank has allowed us many opportunities for community outreach. The positive impact our program has on the surrounding communities is immeasurable.
So I'm going to have you stop here. So we had Family Fun Night last year, and I was given this amazing opportunity to have Keisha Barnes, that's her right there. She is a food preparation educator, health educator, and she looks for opportunities to come and visit organizations or schools. And she came with her electric skillet, an Instapot, an air fryer, and she was able to kind of have a Costco style sampling table, and people were coming and tasting some of the wonderful dishes that she prepared. I think my favorite was probably the air fried broccoli. I did not realize how good that
Yeah, that was
tasted.
mine. And she did use the foods that the food bank is distributing. So then our patrons and they become our neighbors and have to use those items.
And we passed out a free Instapot, a free air fryer, and also a free electric skillet. And then again, there was a lot of excitement about that. Plus, we passed out free cookbooks for cooking on a budget. And these were really, really nice cookbooks, probably $30 to $40 a piece. I was able to get some grant funding from Idaho Early Childhood Educators Association, and they donated all the cookbooks. It was wonderful.
The foods were tasty. They were good. And here's the winner of our electric skillet. This was here at OES, and they had a good turnout that day.
And here's one of the kindergarten classrooms for the health fair. We had Keisha Barnes come again, and she was showing the kids how to cook with a rainbow and to make some healthy snacks, and they really enjoyed that. You want to talk, Carmen, about the open house?
So we had an open house at the warehouse last October, and I think Trustee Craig was able to attend. We had, quite a few people come. We had activities for the children. We was able to answer questions for everybody. They could sign up for the food pantry if they was interested, but also community members came and saw what they had been supporting. They're the ones that bought our pallet shelving, that helped us get the walk-in cooler in there and those type of things. So they were very excited to see what all their hard work had went for. And then they surprised us, Rotary did, with a check for $1,500, which we did not know was coming. So these were some of the events and the opportunities that went on that night. And Russell, you can go ahead. So you'll see, I think, maybe a glimpse of the cooler in the background and those kids who came and enjoyed the night, drawing pictures, doing crafts and that type of thing.
They decorated pumpkins. This was back in the fall. And the cooler is right behind us. And that has sure opened up a host of opportunities to get fresh produce from the food bank.
And right now, we're actually have fresh eggs and stuff we can give out for those who come to the warehouse and pick them up. I've told Stephanie we would not send them home on the school bus. So they have to come to the warehouse and get them. Okay, can you call us through these? This here, we took place, it's nutrition education that takes place at Timberline. Over the last several years, they have Passion Day. And so they would ask me to come up and I would do things with them to show them. This year, they're making veggie pizza. Some of the other pictures, they actually had big gingerbread man and we were able to decorate those. So we do something fun pertaining to school and getting some more nutrition. Once we made boba bubbles and that type of thing with them. So anyway, that's what some of these pictures are displaying.
And this is at Timberline.
This is Timberline Schools. And the boys took a lot more interest and enjoyed decorating those cookies than the girls did. I was kind of surprised. So we try to educate them however we can, whatever opportunities we get, whether it's health fairs, on family nights, Passion Day, or whatever, we try to get them in the schools when we can.
Collaboration with community members often creates remarkable opportunities for our students to connect with local heroes.
This thanks due to Deputy Rose, who organized this and brought in people from Fish and Game, Orofino PD, everywhere you can think of, firefighters, EMTs came in and served the students at OES their Christmas dinner, I think it was.
Yes.
And they loved it. It's like, when's the fun of the year? What's going on? And when I got there, they were in the gym playing snowball tag with the kids before we started serving. And so they were running around. There's just a short little blurb in here of them running around with that, throwing snowballs with the kids. And the kids really enjoyed it. And I think the adults may have enjoyed it more than the students did. So it was pretty neat. They had to get right there and ask questions and get attention, from the adults when they could.
It was really wonderful. Kids loved it.
Spelled Lonnie is wrong.
What did I spell wrong now? What was it?
Lonnie Ireland.
Oh, okay.
Spelled A.
I grew up and be a food service woman.
Yeah.
We
Awesome, you
had,
girls, awesome.
we had gingerbread cookies and that was like the big thing, you know, they all got a gingerbread. So, yeah, they enjoyed it. And it was impressive to get to see them, see what we feed the kids, because it's not school lunch like it used to be. You know, it's just not the same. And so to see what is actually on the menu or what they're getting is nice.
And then students are given just a chance to develop those social skills. Every time they go down the line, they're asked, you know, what's your choice? And they're saying thank you and please, and really showing appreciation for the adults in the kitchen. It's wonderful to see.
Do you have any food-based incentives or reward programs around the PBIS program and behavioral incentives? Little reward, first in line, get your best pick.
Not through the lunch line. No. Not through the lunch line. OH has a rewards program, I think, where they get a like card that they can bring to the lunch line and cash it in for an a la carte item or something like that.
OES Garden. In collaboration with Tammy Waite and the OES Garden Project, our nutrition department is able to supply fresh produce during the summer months for our families who participate in the summer food program.
Okay, and then you
Hey,
can
we're gonna
pause.
stop here. So, Tammy, wait. You want to, if you want to say anything as we're talking, would you please jump right in? So this is a spring visit to the garden. And Tammy is just so wonderfully engaging my students, and we're walking through the garden and we're having this experience with her. She's kind of narrating what she's seeing in the garden and engaging them. And one wonderful thing about the garden is this is a classroom.
Mhm.
This is not just a bunch of fun activities. They're all aligned to Idaho State science standards. Typically, I know my colleagues and we develop a unit of study, an integrated unit. So I've been reading some stories about sunflowers and their growth cycle. And so one of my favorite lessons that I'll engage Tammy with is we'll actually chop down one of those giant sunflowers in the garden. And we'll then have a craft activity with that. And I even invite our librarian, our children's librarian from our public library to come and read to us and talk about the life cycle. And so this is an ongoing project for the kids that you're seeing here. Tammy, you want to say anything else?
Come over here.
Thank you, Tama, Carmen. I just actually came to clap and cheer for them.
But we're cheering for you.
I'm gonna ask my principal if I can present to the board a full-fledged, it's been a while and we have some new members. So maybe the next meeting, but Tama is so correct. I am obligated to not have a green playground. It is an outdoor classroom. And so everything is a teachable moment with me, from roly-polies to giant sunflowers falling over, preserving the head, drying it, planting those seeds, starting those seeds in the classroom and then transplanting in the spring to fulfill that growth life cycle. So anyway, yeah, and it's therapy for me. I'm selfish. It's all about me. But the kiddos are wonderful because I have found that we do well when we're in the dirt, and we do well when we're engaged with a natural environment. We do well when we have creatures in the garden to examine. So I always ask the teachers, what's your lesson or your topic. What do you want me to do? Whether it be math, we have done algebra, we've done geometry. We've done some wonderful science experiments. We've had creative writing. We always generally have a reading program. But I'm so appreciative of the school for it. We collaborate, and I'll wrap up, but I will share this. I am also into collaboration. So not just with Tam and Carmen. We can't supply a lot because even though it looks like a big area out there, when you have this many students, including Head Start, we're kind of a sample plot. So we fulfill what we can, but I will share with you, even the academy, when the cadets come down in the spring and in the fall, we're sending stuff up the hill for their greenhouse and then hopefully someday for their garden. But anyway, this spring there will be an open house, and I will share this. I do encourage the board to stop by. And with that, I'll just be brief I've already started with the reading program. Miss Sarah's let me take over her library. So we'll segue into spring activities for March. But in the meantime, we're in here. The kids are engaged. They remember so much. They ask questions. When do we get to go out to the garden? Ah, that thrills me. That thrills me. So anyway, thank you for it.
This is just a point of engagement with the community as well. So I'll bring the kids out and you'll have a volunteer from the community. And I think that's just a wonderful thing as well, to keep going. And like I said, there's lots of connections with these kiddos because in the summer, I like to go during those summer months and pick tomatoes, pick fresh produce, and then that goes in the food bags that we offer during the summer months. And again, I'm asking for volunteers. I've had students come and talk to me about just getting more involved with that. And I hope, it will continue to grow.
And so when we started talking with Tam and Wade about parting with her and the vegetables in the summer, we come up with the term of seeds to supper. So it feels like it just connected our whole district in one big circle. So Tam was educating them, Tammy, and teaching them and showing them how to plant and grow. And then we're showing how to harvest. We're showing them what to do with it, how to eat it, how to prepare it, recipes for that, the Instant Pots, air fryers to cook it. So these students, it's like, teach somebody to fish or give them a fish. So we feel like we're teaching them how to be sustainable in the future and maybe can break some of their cycles, these generational cycles we see with families, to where they know how to produce their own foods. And we've used some of the funds that's come in donations have specifically been earmarked for seeds to supper or gardens. So they've been set aside, and Tammy Wade is supposed to be getting quotes to do the sprinkle system.
Joint School District 171. Food Pantry. By collaborating with the North Idaho Food Bank and dedicated community sponsors, the school district's food pantry has made a significant impact, proudly assisting an average of 79 families each year. Our comprehensive food pantry program includes essential initiatives such as the Backpack Program, which provides nutritious meals for children, weekly food pantry distributions that ensure families receive necessary support, and our Summer Food Program, designed to combat hunger during the school break. Together, we are making a difference in our community and nourishing hope for a brighter future.
And so these volunteers are, just representative of many sectors of our community. We have Erica Holland, who's here. Thank you, Erica. And we have faith groups. They were bagging, and I want you to stop here because a colleague of mine, Bridget Bushy, this is her daughter from the high school. She came and helped with this effort. We were bagging up the Christmas meal at this point, and she showed up with, is it the Interact?
Mhm.
Okay. And she was looking for volunteer hours, and it was really nice to see her show up. And I am hoping that maybe we can interest some people in a senior project or something, because it's really nice to see how they see the food pantry and our programs and become a part of it.
I wonder if, would that qualify under this new way that they're doing senior projects? It's not about really community projects, it's about career enhancement. Could it be food service development?
Yeah, so what I tell all my students is that, you know, depending on what your goals for the future are, that's how we can. But if somebody was going into some sort of business marketing, there's a lot of different angles and a lot of different ways you can find service within the institute projects.
And we do have one family who does come to the warehouse weekly and pick up their food there. And the young gal was interested in food service and culinary arts. So we hooked her up with Polani, here, one of our cooks at OES, and they got together and she got to interview him and ask him questions and stuff. So they did a good connection, and she thought it was really great and he thought it was great.
Can you hear as this is being read, or do you want me to read it? Would that be easier?
No.
This is what they call a backpack. It comes pre-packaged from the Idaho Food Bank. That's 2 breakfast, 2 lunch, and 2 dinner for 1 child. And that the children call it the golden bag. They like the golden bag. That's inside our freezer. We have a whole stack of hams ready for the holidays.
This is a collection point, not to interrupt you, Carmen,
Go ahead.
at Orofino Community Church. So I'm bringing food donations. We have some other sectors of the community also donating. We have a senior citizen gal that comes in, she shops the sales, and she'll bring us like 5 cereal bowls, you know, with the lids. And, you know, she'll next week bring us 5 more. And here's the shelves right here. And before we know it, we have enough for a full week's distribution. And it's just amazing the hearts that are out there that really believe in our program and want to participate.
I think that's the last slide probably, but I'd say our program's successful because of the amount of volunteers we have and the support the school district gives. I mean, from Denise, from all of our principals, our counselors are involved, the teachers are on, you know, if they see any signs of insecurity with kids and food, or they're crying because it's a weekend, they don't think they're going to eat, they refer them and we make sure that they're not going hungry. And this is the first year I've seen some serious food insecurities with students voting, keeping food at home, even from family, to feel secure themselves. And that's, I guess I'm glad that we're in the district the way we are, and our counselors and everybody's involved so they can deal with their families. I don't get involved in that. I let the counselors in the schools know so they can look after those students.
Great job.
Yeah, you girls are awesome.
So
Tammy,
just want to
amazing
thank you
volunteers.
all.
Be
Really.
proud.
Yeah, you should be proud, because I think, you know, a district that provides every single student a free breakfast every morning. I can't tell you what a gift that is as a classroom teacher, that I don't have to worry about that I know students are coming into the classroom ready to learn. I remember a time when I didn't have that, and certain students wanted to go out and play, and breakfast was being served in the gym. And so then I was having some interruptions in that instruction, and just to have that as a way of uniting my classroom, teaching those social skills. I always relate it to health and nutrition or academic topics that I'm teaching. And to have that resource as a classroom teacher, because I've seen those students at a time of crisis and reached into my own pocketbook, you know, at times, or gone to another organization, and to know that I have that great privilege of offering that resource in our warehouse, and, you know, in a timely manner, giving that family in crisis or that child in crisis that's crying at the back of the line because they don't want to go home because there isn't any food at home. I'm able to say, here's some food, take it home, and give the mom an Instapot or an air fryer and make sure that she has the skills or dad has the skills to prepare that food. So I just want to thank you all for my children and for taking care of them as well as you have. Thank you.
Thank you for the kind words. I remember first coming on the school board, there was a conversation around, should we continue breakfast? And it was a hands down. I don't remember there being any debate or conversation or question around the value of the breakfast. So thank you for
And it
continuing. to
prepares
do
them
that.
for weight training when they get into high school. I've seen some of these kids in those backpacks, so you can hardly carry them.
Yeah,
Quite
we've had 'em
entertaining
tip
watching
over.
them, stagger down the road trying to get home. It's a
Right.
great program. Thank you
Yeah,
both.
yeah, thank you
so
all.
much.
Okay, so I blew through the program reports. We've come back to the seeds of supper. Jason, you want to summarize your
Sure.
report for us?
I just wanted to highlight a couple of recognitions because they're unique. Timberline Alumni Foundation has a Hall of Fame event each spring. And this spring we have 2 employees who are going to be inducted into the Timberline Alumni Hall of Fame. Rocky Barlow, who's a Orofino Junior Senior High School coach. You can read the narrative about Rocky. He's going to be inducted this spring. And then also Julie Jared, who's a Timberline teacher. So it's pretty cool that 2 of our alumni and current staff are going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. And I put the write-ups there, just kind of, those will be in the programs along with the other inductees to the Hall of Fame this spring, but I thought I'd give you a sneak peek to, since it was our staff, 2 of our staff members. So that's pretty cool. I put the Thrive and Shine recognitions in there. I see Dr. Kaczynski's here. She's one of them this month. You can read that. There are several others. And I went ahead this month and just put the whole card in there so you could read all the verbiage instead of the summarize of the traits. Accreditation progress. We're at a point now where we've got the principals have completed their self-assessments. Now I have to compile that data, and then we are going to start analyzing artifacts and determining which artifacts will best support our self-assessment. We've had the surveys open. Staff, parents, and students are completing surveys. That data is also a big part of the accreditation process. And then just a reminder that the on-site review is March 23rd through the 25th. And so they'll want to interview, any and all board members that they can, as well as all of our other stakeholder groups.
So we are over halfway in the process. Thinking about the steps.
It's
you
probably,
shared.
probably. The other part of it is that, or another part of it is that once I get all of that, they have a system where all of that information has to be entered. So, we do the self-assessments, put it together, and then I have to take all that and put it into their system. That's quite a task probably as well. And then it's the on-site analysis of our presentation, our artifacts, the interviews. Basically, they just assess whether or not we can, our self-assessment, how well it aligns with what they see basically in here.
Any big shining stars or red flags or aha moments so far?
No, I wouldn't say so at this point. No. We've already talked about board training. I just need to make sure I get those of you that are going to ISBA, the travel request form. I put the job openings on there just to put that in front of everybody again.
Some feedback about the job openings. It's kind of hard to find on the website. And so you have to click. It might be when you first land on there, if there's a link right to the job opening, because you have to go departments, HR, employment opportunity, there's multiple clicks to get to the job openings. And so I just have gotten some feedback. They're kind of hard to find on our website. So maybe might be something
The
to
Amazon 3-click rule.
Yeah. Something to think about is if we can make it a little bit more direct link to those employment opportunities.
Thank you. I think that's it. On the banner on the homepage, the banner scrolls through 3 different things. And so that's another way that you can click there, just FYI. Scrolls like shows that logo or that one with all of our mascots, and then it shows a Thrive and Shine that you can click on, and also the employment offer. But I can figure out maybe a way to have a static one there as well, because that one scrolls. So if you're not looking at, if you start clicking and looking, you wouldn't see that probably. And I think that's all I have for my report.
Thank you. Carmen, any public comment tonight?
No, there's no comments.
Okay. Just moving on to discussion items, the surplus, I didn't see anything that required an action. Oh, did you add something?
Well, it's all notification. It doesn't require action.
Okay, that's what I
Below the
thought.
black bar.
Yep.
And I'll just move that black bar for you each time so you see what's new. All of those should come in at less than $500 value, and we'll surplus them.
One of the things I wondered is, are any of those baseball cards potential little gold mines?
Carmen's having them analyzed right now
Okay, right
to
on.
determine that. If something turns up there greater than 500, you will know, but they were produced in the 90s along with billions of others, so highly unlikely.
We found them in a back shelf somewhere in the kitchen that some company had sent us way back in 1990 to hand out to kids, and a few's missing, but the rest of the box is there. It's never been taken out or used. So we thought, well, let's see what they're worth.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
No action. Policy. I'm glad it wasn't me. I love the summary.
I do too.
But I'm glad it wasn't me that I couldn't get it to work. Now
So I was
that's why-
hoping to go through this summary with you and see what you think about doing it this way to try to expedite the process.
I like it.
What I figured what Chris is referring to is I had not got the policies put in the policy tracker in addition to the summary.
Gotcha.
They're in there now. After we kind of go through this and you guys get a feel for how well or not it functions, and if you have recommendations for me to revise, then I'd like to talk to you about the tracker and see what parts of that you want me to keep, and what parts might be redundant for us. In this case, what I did was took the suggested changes from ISBA, had AI compare it to our existing policy and put this summary together for you. It's organized numerically. I debated on whether to organize it, by color. You could go either way. It doesn't matter. So I'll just start at the top with 2320. If you scroll on, look at the first one, 2320. All that does is add basically a sentence that says anything that doesn't comply with this is prohibited. So they're just making it one more step of if it's a violation of House Bill 352, then it's prohibited. Questions about that?
Nope.
I'll just go, I guess, unless you have a question, you can just interrupt me. The next one, 2700P, is graduation procedure. This is all required changes from the state. The column on the right shows where we're now required to have in policy digital literacy. We have to rename senior projects to future readiness. There will be a different state board civics test. So we're just changing the name in policy. It's going to be a state board test as opposed to the USCIS. State law requires us to have graduation pathways established, which we do. They modified the speech and debate requirement. If you recall, they were discussing eliminating the speech debate requirement in exchange for digital literacy, but now it's still there and they just added it.
So they're both there.
Do we have our pathways posted someplace?
No, we just, the principals have compiled them, put them together, given them to me, and we're in the process of cleaning them up to make them look good to publish.
Nice.
Um, there- you can see the rest of it. Modified credit structure in science, same thing with arts and humanities. They're just allowing for some flexibility to get the remain at 46 credits and have the digital literacy included. And then on the what this means, that kind of gives you the specifics of what we have to do.
Yeah, so updating the master schedules, that is in relationship to adding the digital literacy course, or what is that? Can you tie that to this for me?
Sure. So each building has a master schedule that would show that, digital literacy is required for,
Okay,
at
so
this
it is
yeah,
adding that.
for
Okay,
sure.
thank you.
Same thing with cleaning those up with senior project, all those things. When speech is required, et cetera. Then we just move into the purple ones, and literally you can see they crossed off the code that was referenced and changed it to a different Idaho code. So those are just code corrections and all those purple ones. Policy 7400 in green raises the micro purchase threshold. These changes in thresholds are just driving me crazy. From 3,000 up to 10,000.
Did it affect any of the others?
No. That's the whole thing right there. That's the whole change.
And I think we authorized you to 10,000, right? So we're aligned with the micro purchase.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
separate from
I just
that.
wondered whether we had to do something else.
Nope.
Okay.
And it's an optional, that's why it's in green. 7403 is a policy that we don't have in our policy manual. We've covered these requirements with basically a statement that says child nutrition will adhere to. But now we're finding that there's 7403 is a separate policy just for procurement for school meal programs. And it has all those same purchasing thresholds.
Any thoughts, input, Carmen?
No, it actually has the thresholds pretty high. So I told Jason, we're almost to the point we may not have to formal bid. They've raised them. So it works great. We went over it today and I don't see a problem with it at all.
Okay, thank you.
Nice.
The state's been, that's been a push is to make things more flexible and more realistic. These orange ones here
The
are,
ISBA state, you mean?
no, I mean the state.
Oh, okay.
The ISBA is just writing these policies in line with the law.
Okay.
This came from the changes in transportation. We've talked about this with our van purchase, but these are recommended ones.
Is the van booked?
It's used. No, I don't know how booked it is.
Probably
Not
good
much
this
so
time of
far.
year.
Okay.
State inspector will be here tomorrow, so it'll be state inspected.
Ah.
So we'll be able to use it for school field trips.
Thank you.
Once it's inspected.
Okay.
Nice.
So this just changes the, from bus or school bus to other authorized vehicles. If you keep scrolling, it also changes language from school bus driver to all drivers who transport students. You can see those quotes. It's just general language because they've changed the law about other drivers being able to drive. This updates the policy to align with that.
Does that have any logistical or place-based complexities around who we're having drive?
8103 is another one along the same lines. This is new recommended policy. We don't have it. And it has to do with those vehicles other than school buses. Provides all the policy about those vehicles and how they have to adhere to like these safety requirements, et cetera, driver qualifications. 8105 just changes the language again from buses to all vehicles. Same thing in 8105P. 8110 is safety busing recommended policy. This one is going to, so right now our current policy says see, exhibit 1. This will change it to reference 8110F, which is a placeholder, which is in red right there, which is going to be a new required form. The state provides us this. We don't have it in policy. It just references it from the State Department, and they provide it. It's on their website. So our policy will reference this form that they give us. And I don't know why they set it up that way, but that's a required new form.
Anything on the new form that causes question or concern?
No.
Okay.
It's what we have used in the past and have to use. It's their a safety busing measurement form.
Okay.
Down to 8120, it's just changing language. You can see from bus routes and bus stops to transportation routes and transportation stops. 8130. Currently, it says special ed bus only. Now allows alternative vehicles when the bus isn't practical, like we've talked about before. Yep. This next one, 8140, is about conduct. It just applies to all vehicles now, not just buses. Same thing on 8170 with district-owned vehicles. 8180 is driver training and responsibility. It's a recommended policy and changes some of our requirements for other drivers aside from bus drivers. This will be important to make sure that that we have some oversight over anybody who drives a district vehicle.
Mm-hmm. Question, so from the standpoint of compliance, do we have a form the drivers sign as part of onboarding?
That's what we'll be doing with part
Okay.
of this once we
Mm-hmm.
have the policy in place. We'll have to have them sign that they're aware of this policy and some other ones like this next
Mhm.
one, 8185,
Mhm.
use of wireless devices.
Yep.
No cell phones.
It's a new one coming down federally on our federal grants. I don't know if you've seen it, Cody. Anybody, I don't know if you've seen it in your federal grants around compliance, and you can't have cell phones driving, no texting. They're bringing back an old law that people sort of swept under the rug. I don't know if you've seen that in compliance.
I just think it's cleaner doing it that way.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So what we have,
I love this, love this for the first read. This was so helpful
Yeah.
for me Sunday to try to get a handle on what do I really need to look at and think about for the first read.
And some of these we don't have a choice. I mean, it just
Right.
makes it a lot easier. Okay,
Yep.
I can glance at that and focus on the ones that we might have a decision to make on. so,
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
are there suggested revisions that would make that more effective?
I like it.
I like the way it's presented. I'm a color guy, one color,
Mhm.
but that's just my
I was kind of
OCD.
feeling that too, as opposed to
But the
order
way
them
you
like,
presented it works
okay.
too. So
How about the rest of you? Does it matter if you want it numerical as it is, or would you rather have, optional, recommended, required, or vice versa?
I like that they're aligned numerically because then I can have both open and look.
fair enough.
So in the policy tracker, our current policies are listed that align with these as well as the
Right.
suggested changes from ISBA. I guess my question would be, do you need all of that? Do you want the old ones all listed one by one, the new ones listed by one, and this? Or
I wouldn't think on the required ones. I think recommended optional, we do. It would be my thought. The correction ones,
I would not, there's no way we can overlay it onto this document. The policy itself.
we can, I was trying to simplify here, to provide much more of a concise instead of having all the filtering but I can do it, whatever works for the group.
I I personally, if I have a question about I just go to our policy and look it up, and I don't necessarily use the links because I mean, if we have this document, I would just open this, and then if I have a question about our current policy, just go to our current policy. So
I
I'm fine with
agree.
or without links to it.
That would save some steps. Our policy's in that one large document.
Mhm.
And so for me to get all of the links on the
Yeah, yeah.
existing policy, I literally have to
That's a
print the
terrible-
pages.
that's a
save
terrible-
it-
Oh, really?
Save it as a file. Not when I say literally print to PDF the
Yeah, yeah, but
pages,
even
save
so,
it,
that's
link it.
a step in the process.
It's tedious, but it can be done.
Yeah, that reports.
It's just as easy for me to go to the website and go to our policy book and look it up. It as it is for you to link it. I mean, I
Yeah.
think, but I'm either way.
If that works for the group, I can keep we can use our existing policy to reference existing policy and then just have the new
Mhm.
policies linked there.
Yep.
That'll
Like it.
simplify it a little bit, and then I can keep doing a summary similar to this.
Okay.
Yeah. And I like the recommended motion in there as well.
I wanted to talk about that a little bit because our practice has not really been to
Mhm.
approve on a first read.
Right.
We've just read it and discussed it and then approved a second read. I don't know what you guys think about that. If you want to start approving first read, or if we just want it to be a discussion and then we approve second reads.
What does our policy on policy adoption say? That would be my question. So
I think-
we may have to amend our existing policy because it has been forever. So maybe it's in there. We could take a quick look.
Well, it'd
But
be
I wouldn't be opposed to the requireds on the first read.
I think it would be safe to just do a motion on these first reads and then, then we're covered. We do a motion on a first read like this. And then we're either going to approve on a second read, or if there's some discussion or question, it's hold for a third, or, revise for a third or something like that. Then we know we're in compliance.
It probably just makes it clearer that we're acknowledging that we formally did a first read
Mhm.
on these.
Yeah.
It just makes it clearer to the public, more transparent.
Yeah, I can go with that.
So just for clarity, we're okay with the motion for the required and corrections on the first read?
We would just be acknowledging, basically the motion would be acknowledging that we did a first read, not approving the
Yeah.
policy until the
Yeah.
second read.
Yeah, we're approving the first read, where it's listed there, and then it lists the numbers for you.
Yeah, the
Not
second would be
necessarily
the final
adopting them
adoption
at
of
the- yeah.
what's decided.
So
I think that's clean.
We
Actually.
can move it more to adopting, if it's second read, adopting.
Yeah.
Basically, we're passing these to the second read. It kind of formally acknowledges that.
I thought we always had, but it would be an acknowledgement.
Yeah. I don't think we've taken action before on the first read.
We haven't.
And we're still not.
No,
Taking
we're
an
just saying,
action.
we're just saying that we looked at them.
But it is an action,
But
it's
that's-
it's
that
a
is the
motion,
action.
Mhm.
but we're not adopting them, but we're, taking action on the first read.
I'll take a personal action and look at our policy on policy and see, because I would not personally be opposed, for the sake of time and streamlining our lives, to, if it's required and simply correction, act on the first read.
I see what
if
you're
we
saying.
can, yeah, if we can.
And then we can, our focus and our energy on, for our homework for the next event is focused
Narrowed.
on the recommendations and or optional.
Mhm.
But we'll have to look at policy.
Mhm.
Okay, no,
So for today, do we just want to
Mhm.
make the motion to approve the first read, and then we'll decide if next meeting we can revise how we do that? Wanna do that?
that's good.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to approve the first reading of ISBA policy updates for required policy 2700P, form 8110F, and then recommended policies 8100, 8103, 8105, 8105P, 8110, 8120, 8130, 8140, 8170, 8180, 8185, optional policies 2320, 7400, 7403, and corrections to the following policies 3005, 3010, 3010P, 3340.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Like
I can
form.
add to the discussion. The policy says proposed new policies and proposed changes in existing policies shall undergo a minimum of 2 readings in the following manner. 1, at a regular or special board meeting, the proposed new or amended policy shall be presented in writing for reading and discussion. And the final vote for adoption shall take place not earlier than the second reading of the particular policy.
I thought it had that. Yeah.
Although the approval of a new or amended policy requires a minimum of 2 readings, temporary approval may be granted by the board in lieu of formal policy to meet emergency conditions or special events which take place before formal action can be taken, or the board can take a majority vote to suspend the 2 reading requirement for warranted circumstances.
I think we're doing
So
okay.
I think we're
Yeah.
good.
I think
Yeah.
we're good.
I think we're good.
So in the future, do you want me to leave the motion off of first read? Or do you want that?
I think basically we're just acknowledging
So
that we had a first read, right? We're not
Right.
adopting it.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, we
I mean,
don't
I
need
just-
it.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
Right.
Then, yeah.
Do we want
You
it?
don't, because you have to wait for the
Right.
second.
We have to
Yeah.
wait for the second. Unless we want to amend that policy.
That's a different discussion.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So, but I say, no, I know it is, but think
Yeah.
about
But
it.
if we make a
about
motion
it.
every time, that motion can include any amendments to be prepared for the second reading. But if we don't do a motion every time, then it becomes kind of muddied. But if we do a motion every time to approve the first read as presented, then it opens it up for being able to do any amendments. But if we only do it every, I just, it doesn't seem as clear if we're
So-
only doing it sometimes.
Well, but the amendments are as a result of a full discussion and review homework,
Mhm,
suggested amendments prior to the second read.
mhm. Yeah, I don't know.
So we're not, so so potentially this could muddy the water because
Yeah,
if we choose to amend based on
We
the
couldn't,
recommended
because
or
we'd have-
optionals.
it would make it a first read again.
Yep, it would
Yeah.
make it a first again.
mhm.
So I think in point of order, we should pull that.
I think we don't.
I think we pull that motion.
Okay, so I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay.
And then we'll just discuss like we normally do.
Look at this getting
I think that's good.
done.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay.
Good idea, but.
But
let's-
having
So
that-
having this discussion, let's think about that and associated with our policy around
Right.
policy and see if we do, because we could really streamline our life.
If
But
we
there
did
could be
that.
something in statute that says we have to do.
But
Yeah, let's be better double
that's
check
the
that.
research.
Yeah. But having that amendment or that motion typed out was really helpful. So
Yeah,
for the
listing
second
them.
read,
Mhm.
having that typed out is going to be helpful because there was a lot of policy in there and that made it
Yeah.
a lot cleaner.
Because otherwise the person getting ready to make the motion is sitting
It's-
here making all the notes.
So that-
Well, but we
that's
never
all
have
there.
because
Yeah.
we've just presented it. They've always been
No,
a
I'm just
whole.
saying to have it for the second read,
Yeah.
Mhm.
having that
Mhm.
proposed motion at the end of that document was helpful.
Yep, so that aids to transparency for the public if they're interested in looking at the minutes of what specific policies instead of having to go through the link and looking at what was included in the discussion.
Yes.
And when the agenda is shared via PDF, you can't click on the links.
Right.
And so like this last time,
But on the website, you can.
right, but this last time when it was shared via email, you couldn't click on the links. And so then you have to try to go to the website and find the links. So
The
having,
policy links.
yeah,
Yes, as of Sunday morning when I did my homework, you couldn't, correct.
yeah.
But you could tonight, but
No, the public, when they get the agenda by email, this time it didn't come as a Word document, it came as a PDF, so they couldn't click on any links, even tonight.
Okay.
So having them listed out, I think, is good, because then they can reference whatever policy they want on our website.
Yep, I like it. So if we make any amendments to how they're worded in the second read, we would just have to make sure we make note of that in the motion.
Okay.
I like it. Streamlining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, emergency closure.
Yes, I'd like to make
We
a
have- Do you have the
motion
language? Thank you.
that we accept the emergency closures for December 17th, which was all joint 171 school district schools due to windstorms caused by hazardous travel conditions for buses and countywide power outages. And for December 18th, 25, for Cavendish School for a full day for windstorm and caused by power outages.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
A nasty storm.
Nasty storm, and thank you to all staff and community members who helped with cleanup. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. Board member legislative representative. We have an opportunity to appoint a board member who is willing to be sort of a point person on legislative issues. And we have a volunteer. So Taylor has, it's not a nomination, it's an appointment, right? Do you have anything specific?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion to assign Taylor as the Joint School District 171 board member legislative representative.
I'll make a motion that we assign Taylor McIntosh as the Joint School District 171 legislative representative.
I'll second.
My understanding is this gets you some insider information through ISBA around pending legislation, conversations, tips, tricks to help us all become more informed.
Yes, and there's meetings every other Friday where they'll summarize it. You should all be getting the emails that kind of summarize it, but I'll read those and provide, anything that's important, and that they bring up on those calls. So,
I think it's wonderful. I appreciate your
Awesome.
willingness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate that too.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
If you remind me when we know, I can add that to an agenda if you have a update. you want.
Yeah, so that's what they had suggested, that during the legislative session that we just keep it as an ongoing discussion item. So then that way we can just discuss anything.
I think
So
that's a great idea.
yeah, so it is a discussion item tonight, and there is just a couple things. It's early in the session, but a couple key things that have kind of happened since so JFAC met, and they do a state revenue projection, which they base all state budgets off of. And their revenue projections, they're basing all state budgets about 2% for FY26, 2.8%, and for FY27, 2.4% higher than Governor Little's. So their revenue projections are coming in higher, which means that they're allocating more than, potentially could allocate more than what Governor Little recommended. So positive. There was some changes in the education committee. So that's pretty important, that if you have connections with legislators, that you make those connections, because we did have quite a bit of changes on the education committees. And the other big thing is Superintendent Critchfield presented to JFAC, and there was lots of questions and some scrutiny about that public education wasn't part of the holdbacks. And there were some pretty tough questions around, well, what if we did make you hold back 5%? So they're saying that boards should be looking at that and saying, what would we do if we had to? Her response was, that wasn't in the governor's recommendation. That's not in her recommendation, that we don't need to do that. But the board should still be preparing for that, because it wasn't JFAC wasn't 100% on board with us not having holdbacks basically yet at this point. So it's still early in the session, a lot can happen, but that we should start.
We've been having conversations, Jason and I believe he in leadership since the November conference and the message that we heard there.
Yeah.
And I think we're probably going to have a working session or some kind of discussion about that, right?
Sure.
Yeah. What do we think about, and what date did she give that? Do you have that?
I can get that for you. I can get the date. It was
Okay,
last
I
week,
wouldn't
but
mind watching that.
yeah, I'll definitely get you that date. The other thing is that across schools in Idaho, there's a 1.2% drop in enrollment, which potentially could reduce our funding by 22 million as the state. So it's important that we're also watching the court proceedings as it relates to the tax refund, with the private school, that whole process. And
4,700 students have applied, I think I read.
I think it's up even higher now. But that's all
Yes.
on hold pending the outcome of this court case. But with a drop in enrollment, could the outcome of that court case impact that drop in enrollment? Only time will tell, but something to keep an eye on also.
The reduced support units across the state, she talked about 200 and some reduced support units. That just reflects that the state doesn't need to budget. The state can budget 200 and some less because districts across the state need 200 and some less. So that particular item doesn't affect our support units. It's just the fact that we have less students enrolled across the state. State doesn't have to budget for them. We wouldn't get more or less either way on that. In addition to what Taylor said about projected revenues being higher than normal, there's two schools of thought that are going to fight about, and one is additional tax relief. So there's a large contingent now that there's a possibility of having higher than anticipated revenue. There's a large group that are wanting to increase property or tax relief even more to use that up. And so it's really frustrating as we, as it's like you get a little hope and then there's a pretty strong, groundswell to, use that in just more relief on top of. So there's a lot of questions this year. It seems pretty apparent that we'll likely be at least status quo or less. That's been a very common thread, in all the communications we've had. And who knows, but
It's still early.
It is still very early in the session, and bills are just now starting to be introduced. So by next month, I'll probably have a couple key ones that we might want to keep an eye on that will maybe directly impact us, but they're just starting to introduce those now. So
Awesome. Very helpful.
the second part of that, Chris asked me to draft, we talked about IDLA support a little bit, and she asked me to draft a letter from the board to the legislators about our support for IDLA. A couple of months ago, I sent a letter to our local representatives from our region with my support of IDLA. IDLA's become, as you know, they're kind of under attack. The governor's recommended 10 million be cut from their budget. That will hurt school districts like ours much more than any rural school district. It'll have a significant impact on in a lot of ways, but for us, it's one way that for our kids, it helps level the playing field a little bit. It's not the same, but it does give our kids the ability to take a wide variety of classes that we can't offer. It doesn't allow us to save a bunch of money or bank any money or anything like that.
Right.
We're not able to double dip with IDLA, anything like that, but allows our kids to take a class that we can't offer. It allows them to take dual credit. Even our CTE kids that, go into the trades, they can get their electives done in high school with the support of our teachers, which enables them to be much more successful, in whether it's at LCSC in a 2-year program or wherever they go. So there's a tremendous benefit to our kids. And the legislature is basically looking for programs that they feel, might have some duplicity And the attitude is that we're paying for teachers in classrooms. Why should we pay for, an online program that a public school would use as well?
It seems like there's some misconception
Very much so.
around, being able to double dip on attendance. And it seems that cutting IDLA becomes the solution when maybe some better regulation, transparency, oversight, something might better be the answer. So I think that education piece about what IDLA does, what they actually offer to our students, how it doesn't impact, double dipping for enrollment numbers, things like that, I think is really important because it does seem like there's a lot of misconceptions and we're trying to implement a solution that won't really solve the underlying problem. The underlying problem will still exist for those who are using it.
Heather Scott was the only one to reply to me, and I'd sent him my card, and she texted me and asked some clarifying questions, which I appreciated and engaged in it a little bit. And so she's at least, and she asked for some specific examples of how our kids used it. So I provided that. The other two I haven't heard back from. I don't know. And Dale Hawkins is going to chair the education committee. So he's in our region. So
I thought it was important, especially after having conversations at the board chair monthly meeting, so I felt it would be valuable for us as a board to send a communication. And then also just full transparency, I have emailed Representative Hawkins, congratulating him on his appointment and inviting him to an in-person conversation within our district and a tour. And I want to keep sort of that communication going. I have not heard a reply, but just sort of keep that going with just an infusion of information, both pros and positives about what we're doing, and then also some of the challenges and issues that we face, so that we sort of build that case and understanding with him.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's great.
So you shared the letter?
Yeah.
Any concerns, thoughts, questions?
Nope.
Can we get a motion?
It's not an action. It's not an action
It's not
item.
an
It's just
action
part
item.
of our discussion.
Okay.
If you want, I'll pass it and it can be signed tonight, or or it can be read, thought about. IDLA for us mostly is provides us, online courses, as you know, probably from some of your own kids taking them. Like I mentioned, provides opportunities and some get dual credits.
And it's been widely successful in our district.
It allows us to do things that we just can't afford to do otherwise. We do not use IDLA to not hire teachers.
Yeah.
That's not in our best interest, and that would not work for us.
So thank you for your support on that. I think it's important.
Well,
It's a new realm
we're
for
already
us.
one of the lowest funded in the country. We do pretty good with getting by.
Yeah.
But let's get some stuff cleared up.
But in my time here, we haven't really been sort of this proactive or communicate outside of our box. So
Yep.
I'm proud of us. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think it's great.
Thank you.
Especially when we have the chair is from our area.
Yeah.
It's important that we're making those connections.
Yeah. And if anyone has a relationship with him, I encourage you to communicate. I've tried.
The message about IDLA from the governor is, we'll cut 10 million out of their budget, make sure that school districts are able to get their graduation requirements done. And basically that is, a lot of school districts are having to use the IDLA for the digital literacy graduation requirement. So really that's a way for the governor's office to say, we made this requirement. We're not, making it more of a burden for you. Well, IDLA can still do that. But what it will take away is, 10 million out of their budget's huge. So it has to take away a lot of the offerings that our kids can take now. They've started doing elementary courses as well. It wouldn't surprise me, and this is just my own opinion, if that wouldn't go away, right away. Sometimes they do custom sessions for school districts around a specific need. They've put those on pause for now. So I'm guessing that could be something that they would have to cut. But anyway. Hopefully that doesn't come through.
I remember when they were formed.
Yeah.
Okay, board training, we have a form. We can get that back to Jason, new hires and separations.
Make a motion that we accept the new hires and separations as presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion? I see the change. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, I do have executive session items tonight, if I could get a motion.
I'll make a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-2061 A and B.
Second.
Carmen?
Trustee Saint Germain,
Yes.
trustee Craig,
Yes.
trustee McIntosh.
Yes.
Trustee Dormus.
Yes.
Did I get everybody?
Doreen.
Trustee Kepke.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you all. No yawning. We are back from executive session with no actions as a result. Any board member input for future agenda items?
Point of order, we making a motion to come out of executive?
I don't think we do
I don't
anymore,
think we
right?
have to
We
Not
don't-
at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only if we had an action in, but we're out, we just come out of
Okay.
executive is the conversation we had.
Is it right?
We did in the past. Used to do that in the past, but at ISBA, they instructed us that it wasn't necessary.
We always made a
The board
motion
chair
in there
just-
too, yeah.
The board chair needs to announce that we are back in open session.
Okay.
And we take action if there's any.
Yeah, it's
action.
different. So
Okay.
it was,
Yeah.
it was clunky.
Well,
The
just,
last
yeah,
couple.
because to me, if you go in, you have to come out of.
Yeah.
And it requires a roll call to come out of or to go in.
Requires a roll call to go in.
But
But because we have no action in executive, we come back to open session.
Which
I
I've always
believe
been
you.
told you can't take action in executive session.
you can.
You can on certain things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very limited, super duper limited. Okay. Sorry, Madam Chair.
Sorry, we all had that learning lesson. We're like, huh, Carmen, what? We don't have to, what, which way do we do this? So again, any input for future agenda items?
I do think a work session could potentially be geared around state budgeting. I think it would be worth our while to collectively get together and at minimum discuss ideas, potentials. Obviously, we need to get a little further down the road with JFAC, but I wouldn't wait till they make the decision. I think it
Well,
beneficial.
we just got an email that says K-12 schools should prepare for your budget cuts, more budget cuts. I mean, that email literally just came in. So I definitely think
Worth our time.
it's
Mhm.
worthwhile.
Yeah, I agree. And we had a work session for February,
Right now,
I believe.
we have strategic plan, safety / facilities in February. We can modify that.
So that lends itself well for the conversation and thoughts around a reduction,
What was it again?
strategic plan and safety.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
I think it would be good to have the principals there too, as we're talking about potential budget cuts to, I mean, I'd be curious about their insight from their building perspectives too, about if we're making decisions on like, well, here's some options that we have, it'd be nice to hear from them what might work and what might not work.
Yeah, the leadership team input would be important across the board, all programs. I know you're having those conversations, so. When I look at our summary, which I love that we have now in the budget, we're at 60% revenue and like 30% expenditure, and it's like, it always baffles my mind how we can be that far apart, and then
Yeah.
be right down to the wire at the end.
And it
So,
catches up. Yeah.
mhm,
Isn't it the time that we get the different funding?
Mhm.
So like property taxes come twice a year generally.
Right, I
large
know where- yeah,
sums,
I know where
yeah,
up
and
high- yeah,
so,
yeah.
so it's really, you can't really compare revenues to expenses throughout the year.
That's why that dashboard of where
Yeah,
were we
mhm.
last year or the year before, or where we are
That's
now.
probably
would
most
be very
helpful, yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
And as you know,
So-
for discussion of what we're gonna put on our next work session, about 82% of our budget is salaries and
Mhm,
benefits.
yep.
So, if we were to encounter a shortage, we would have to get it from there and or savings essentially.
Right.
Mhm.
I think it'd be a good work session to have.
And I would actually encourage our union folks to participate so that they can be part of this as well, thinking forward.
I don't disagree.
I mean, it's an
just-
open public event.
Yeah,
It's not paid for school time. which was the message we heard
Yeah.
from them, but it's like in their own interest.
I think an invite would be appropriate, whether
Yeah, that's what I mean.
they would
yeah.
take us up on that or not.
Yeah.
but Collaboration is important.
We can include that in our next work session.
I think that'll be plenty.
And work session would still start at 5:30. Is that what we had decided that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, everything's 5:30.
And the
Any-
next meeting, where is it at in February?
I think it's at the high school.
Is it- I think so.
February 23rd at Orofino Junior Senior High School
Because of the holiday, that's
because
right.
of the holiday.
Okay, yep, I remember now.
Two holidays.
Push us back.
Okay. With that, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion that we adjourn.
Oh, second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Thank you all.